edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. Week 2 of our third ladder series, and what bowling we saw last week.
We got an instructional video last week. I hope you folks taped Mark Gregory's performance, but he'll need every bit of that again this week because his challenger is Gary Carrington.
Mark had a 450 last week, beating Paul Barrasa's 367, and in the process won the triple strike jackpot, over $1,000 in total bonus money, and he's back this week to take on Gary Carrington. Let's meet our two bowlers. Last week's winner, our number 5 seed from Beverly, Massachusetts, Mark Gregory.
And an impressive 134 average. 192 high single. His best triple is 505. And he bowls at Metro Bowl in Peabody and Park Place in Wyndham.
Mark, one of 3 to roll a 637 in the roll-off, and by virtue of the high string tiebreaker, he finishes the number 5 seed. He's taking on our number 3 seed. He also had a 637 in the roll-off from Plaistow, New Hampshire, the veteran Gary "Babe" Carrington.
And winner last year of the Tournament of Champions, averaging 133, high single 196. Best triple is 499. He bowls out of Park Place in Wyndham and out of St. Joe's, part of the Traveling Pro League on Friday nights.
Should be a great match. Let's get right to it. Mark Gregory and Gary Carrington when we come back to Leda Lanes. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV. We began with 5. We eliminated one last week when Mark Gregory defeated Paul Barrasa, 450 to 367. Up the ladder we go to Gary Carrington this week with Bill Treefel and Craig Holbrook. Waiting in the wings, it'll be Mark Gregory first to bowl here this afternoon at Leda Lanes, and we'll see if he still has the range as he had last week in beating Paul Barrasa, 450 to 367.
You think he spent all that extra bonus money yet? Over $1,000, wasn't it?
$1,025 in all, including a $700 triple strike jackpot. He throws a good head pin shot to start out here, and a spear opportunity right off the bat. Mark had strings of 118, 183, and 149 last week on his way to a 450. And there's the spear to start out.
Both bowlers have brought plenty of fans along to cheer them on to victory. Of course, these guys have bowled against and with each other many, many times over the years. So they have a lot of fans in common, I would imagine.
Mark's 46 years old. Missed the head pin there, but here they come backwards. The 5-pin stands. Almost got a backdoor strike.
Who needs to hit the head pin? Sometimes you're better off not.
2 in a row. Picking up where he left off. Mark Gregory of Beverly with 2 marks to start the match. Now Gary "Babe" Carrington from Plaistow, the veteran. 4th all-time in WCBC titles.
Pretty good break for missing the head pin, leaving just the 1 and the 2. There's no wood. It's a nice, clean, sparable shot for Babe Carrington.
A veteran of over 80 times on TV. He picked the head pin right off. And he'll be open. And he starts off with a 10 box. Gary is 47 years old. His 2 sons are both bowlers. Matt, 21, a senior at UNH. He wants to be an English teacher, and 16-year-old Mike, a 10th grader at Timberlane in Plaistow. Both boys have been junior state bowling champions. Right through the middle, spread eagle +1. The 9-pin behind the 3-pin. You got the 3, 6, 9, 10 on the right, the 2, 4, 7 on the left. He'll go to the left first. Take the 3 there.
2 open frames for Carrington versus a couple of marks from Mark Gregory.
And an 8 box.
Well, he's already looking at bonus money here. 50 bucks if Mark Gregory can get a spare or a strike. Picking up where he left off last week with $1,025 in bonus money.
Can he break up the split? Will he break up the split? The 6-pin wobbles, still wobbles, and still stands. Surrounded by wood.
And pretty helpful, what I would say, Dick.
It looks angled right. It could deflect off of that wood in the back and go the wrong way, but he's going to try and play it. There it goes. He got it. 3 marks in a row to start out. $50 in bonus money for Mark Gregory.
And he's got quite some run going here these last 2 weeks back-to-back.
Right on the head pin, another spare opportunity.
Told us last week, Dick, that 183 is his best television effort ever. He's been on television. This is his 31st broadcast.
Got a shot at it. There it is. 4 marks in a row to start out. Another $25 in bonus money. Got a note from Irene Forbes of Jamaica Plain, Michael, who wrote us at WNDS, 50 Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. Right through the middle, so Gary can't find the range. She starts off her letter by saying, I feel like I'm writing to 2 of my 3 sons who share your names. As a devout bowler, 10 fabulous years. Look at this. Here it goes. Gary Carrington.
Never a dump, babe, you know?
I gave up on it. I started reading the letter before I started looking back up and saw the pin still falling.
I've never seen it made that way, Dick. Watch this. It didn't even hit the object pin, which he was going for the 3.
Wow. What a way to pick up the spread eagle. What a way to make that shot. I suspect that Gary's made just about every shot every imaginable way over the years.
Probably.
Irene Forbes writes, as a devout bowler, 10 fabulous years with the Moms League at Lucky Strike Bowling Alleys in Dorchester. She wouldn't miss the show. Oh, Gary missed the spare. She likes the rapport between us. We make the show run smoothly. We're the catalysts that make the home audience really feel part of the program. Irene was the proud recipient of the Bowler of the Month award given by the Narragansett Company once way back when. Her high single was 138, and that stood her in good stead via the lottery on several occasions. So she played that 138 number a few times, I guess. Not a bad idea. Irene Forbes, Jamaica Plain, thank you very much for watching and for writing, and we do appreciate the fact that you are there.
And we're honored to share the names of her sons as well.
Will it go? Will it go? It's not going to go. Yes, it does go. Oh. Do you believe that? I was about to say it's only an hour show.
He has provided some excitement for us the last couple of weeks, and he hasn't stopped.
5 marks in a row to start out.
Should we just mark it up as a spare here? He's been Mr. Automatic this game.
This is a tougher one. This is a tougher one. The 247 on the left, the 10 on the right. No wood to help out. He's going to have to make it clean. Not going to make it. Open.
Well, they're groaning, but they're not booing, which they booed him last week in the 3rd string when he missed a spare. At least this was a split. They can't really nail him too much for that.
He'll have to settle for a 9 box. 96 through 6 after an 87 half.
Mark still has his game face on, though. He hasn't really cracked a smile yet. Too early in the match against a formidable opponent.
Formidable opponent who can do stuff like that. No doubt about that one.
Same pitch.
WCBC Bowler of the Year in 1993 and 94. 9 WCBC titles, behind only Tommy Olsta, Peter Flynn, Tim Lipke, and Craig Holbrook, who we're going to see.
Right on the head pin, breaks up the split.
Gary says, I'm not shooting until everything stops moving, after what Gregory just pulled here a minute ago.
Clear shot right at the 10 pin. There it is.
Well, he's only going to be about a dozen pins behind if he puts a strike in. So considering Mark Gregory has 5 marks and Gary only has 3, he's pretty close still.
Mark Gregory is just on fire, carried over from last week. 6 marks in 7 boxes. No doubt about that strike. Another good head pin ball. Tough shot coming up for Mark Gregory.
527
on the left, the 6 on the right.
525 in the triple strike jackpot this week. He depleted it last week with a $700 hit.
Oh, he made the shot. Mark Gregory, a virtual impossible shot.
Learn from the first
And he got it kicking off the wall, and it kicked out the 4-pin. Unbelievable shooting by Mark Gregory. Gary Carrington missed the head pin. Put 6 in the spare. 4 horsemen left side. Missed it. Gary's last time on TV, he won the 2004 Tournament of Champions, defeating Sean Baker 446 to 368. That's last May. 2001, the #1 seed defeated #4 seed Mike Morgan 459 to 406. Won the $1,500 top prize plus the triple strike jackpot, which was $1,300 during the second string, in which he had a 174. Total winnings for the day around $3 grand, which was not a bad payday. In 1998, Gary won the Tournament of Champions, defeating Rob Burkeel 428 to 385. So no stranger to the bright lights and the pressure of television. And another mark for Gary Carrington, who's trying to stay close to the red hot Mark Gregory.
Unusual to see him down 27 pins, not even after 1 complete string.
7 marks and 8 frames for Mark Gregory, working on a spare. With a strike. That's another $50 in bonus money. 3 marks in a row.
Tell me that's not a game face, huh?
He's locked in. On the Brooklyn side, breaking up the split, breaking up the tough spare, which was the 3 and the 9. He's got the 9 pin still standing. The wood out in front is not angled very well for him. He's got to cap the piece of wood on the left, I think, Michael. See what he tries to do. He's going to right at it. He's got the spare. Another $25 in bonus money.
When it's going good, Dick, no matter what you do. And he is on some kind of a roll right now.
He's at 166 plus whatever he puts in the spare.
He's had only 1 open today, so far. And that was in the 6th frame when he had a 9. A 176 if he fills it in right here.
Missed the head pin, walks away from it, and it's going to be just a 3-pin fill. A 169 first string for Mark Gregory. The last ball, the only ball that really got away from him. $175 in bonus money in that string.
So that's $1,200 in the last 2 weeks, right? Bonus money and 4 strings, $1,200.
Yep. Not including the winnings he'll get from winning his matches,
of course.
Whatever. Gary Carrington now trying to stay close. Put 7 in the mark. Piece of wood out front. Makes the spare. Great shot by Gary Carrington, using the wood to his advantage. He has 5 marks in the string.
And he's 40 pins behind. Well, we've got 20 more boxes to go. Don't count the babe out anytime soon.
Off the head pin. It's the 4 horsemen on the right side. Piece of wood behind. He's got a shot at it. It's going to go. Is that pin going to go? Yes, it is. $50 in bonus money for Gary Carrington. His first bonus money of the string. 132 plus whatever he gets on the spare. So he'll be within shouting distance. 132 plus a ball. And here is the ball for Gary Carrington on lane 33. And it's a good ball, and it's going to be 8. A 140 first string for Gary Carrington. A 29-pin lead for Mark Gregory over Gary Carrington after one. Great bowling in string number 1. Let's see what happens as we move on to string number 2 from Leda Lanes in Nashua. You're watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Gary Carrington first to bowl in string number 2. Both bowlers with terrific first strings. 169 for Mark Gregory, 140 for Gary Carrington. A 29-pin lead for Gregory. That one got away from Babe. You won't see that very often.
8 drop. Come on, go make it.
It was very un-Gary-like.
And he almost converts it.
He holds quite a few scoring records in the WCBC. He has the scoring records for 25 strings and 30 strings as well. All events winner in 2000 and 2001 in the state of New Hampshire. Quite the bowling resume.
Alice Tachi, who's a frequent contributor to the show, sends us lots of emails and letters. Sent us a letter this time, Michael. And first of all, we want to congratulate Alice. She's a cancer survivor. She wanted to point out that there is hope, and she wanted to let everybody know that she is doing well, and that if she can do it, everybody can do it. And that's the message that Alice sends along to us. And she also sends an item out of the Lynn Item, the newspaper down on the North Shore, from last month. It's about a month or two old, I guess, depending on when you're watching this show. And the first paragraph of the article is legendary Lynn Candlepin bowler Mike Morgan mulling retirement from the game. And the answer to the question is no, he is not.
Good.
However, Morgan will cut back on his bowling schedule and will not compete in the Eastern Mass Pro Bowlers League, an organization he's participated in for several years. Morgan intends to stay active and compete in the roll-offs for the TV shows. He won't be doing any league bowling, but I'll still try to qualify for television, according to Morgan, calling it a personal decision. Look at this shot. He's unbelievable. He's just making shots that you just don't imagine. Anyway, finishing this article about Mike Morgan, considered one of the best Candlepin bowlers of all time. He's dedicated his efforts on the lanes the past 2 years in memory of his brother Tom, of course, who died a couple of years ago from cancer. And we look forward to seeing Michael back with us in the not-too-distant future.
Well, Dick, we almost did. He missed the roll-off for this ladder by 1 pin. He was 6th on the list. He had a 636, and it took 637 to make it onto this ladder. Mark Gregory can't believe that after hitting the pin the way he did, he didn't get the spare.
That'll be a 10 box.
Gary Carrington just recently running the WCBC Pro Tour, 3rd stop of the year at Vacation Land Bowling Center in Saco, Maine, which was his 9th title. We mentioned these scores last week in case you missed it. Gary Carrington beat a record for this particular bowling center, Vacation Land. Had a 1430 triple, beating Mike Morgan's 1998 house record, which was 1427 for this house. Gary had 140, 177, 134, then 178, 117, 154, 126, 127, 134, and 143. Again, for a total of 1430. That's a 143 average. Beating Sean Baker, who was 2nd. Dave Hodge, who's in the Tournament of Champions, is in 3rd, or came in 3rd. Dave Cookie Richards was 4th. And Dick O'Connell, who we've not seen on this show, but certainly very active in the WCBC, was 5th. For the women, congratulations to winner Ricky Justice of Union, Maine, followed by Cindy Beatrice, Judy Bowden, Iris Libertini was 4th, and Cindy Cowley from Franklin, Mass. Came in 5th. And high single for the women out of the money was Sue Holleran from our home lanes right here at Lida.
Gary playing the wood. He'll have to settle for an 8-box. For Gary without a mark through 4 frames of the second string. Mark Gregory working on an open frame.
Well, there's 2 splits in a row, which has been quite unusual for Mark Gregory, who's been on fire.
Open frame, first time in the match, 2 open frames in a row for Mark Gregory.
Stop the presses. This will not be an easy 10 either. Gonna have to cap it.
It'll be a 9-box. Check those pins. Mark is the mailroom coordinator for the Automobile Insurers Bureau of Massachusetts. Enjoys golf and softball. He's a single guy.
Both parents are here with him today.
Got a shot at it. 3 open frames in a row. He's a mere mortal after all. And that'll be a 9-box. And we'll go to the break, and the lead for Mark Gregory is 41 pins over Gary Carrington as we near the halfway point as you watch Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNBS TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua.
Right here.
Gary Carrington, first to bowl coming out of the break. Gary trails Mark Gregory by 41 pins as we near the halfway point.
Come on, make a shot.
Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. Now officially in the Christmas season. I think Mark Gregory's working on some of his Christmas shopping money here with these bowling appearances.
Wow, Gary left a pin standing that I don't think he expected to be standing. Of all the pins that were there, he played that shot so nicely. And he'll take a 10-box. He almost made the split, but the 10 pin just did not move. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin from Leda Lanes in Nashua. Happy to have you with us for Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Our director today, Kevin LaFond. Our engineer, Keith Webb. Our camera crew of Craig Amabello, Larry Haber, and Tanya Perry. Patrick McDougall's on the replay machine. Eric Angra's on audio, and Steve Kenny handling graphics. All make it possible for you to watch the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world each and every week on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. So Gary Carrington open through the first 6 frames of the second string.
Bonus ball is worth, I'm sorry, Dick, $20 at the end of today's competition.
Of course, the bonus ball contest is your opportunity to participate. After every show, we give you a chance to win some money. We draw a postcard from the bin, and if our winning bowler matches the number you select, you'll win with the cash prize for the day. Whatever that cash prize happens to be, and as Mike mentioned today, it's $20. And you can send in your cards and letters to the bonus ball address that you see on the screen right now.
Well, that's 4 opens in a row for Mark Gregory, but it just happens to coincide with a similar number of opens and corresponding boxes from Gary Carrington. So he's not really lost any ground. He still maintains about a 3-mark lead.
On lane 33, right on the head pin. And another tough shot. So when they were falling before, they're not falling now. And that's the name of the game in Candlepin bowling. As quickly as it comes, it goes.
It does keep you humble.
Got a shot at it. Ooh, played it well, just not quite enough. So he will be open. 10 box. He's added 12 pins to his first string lead. The lead remains at 41 pins after 6 boxes of the second string. Both bowlers were hot in the first string. They've cooled off considerably here in the second string. You started practicing yet?
No, it's not February yet.
Oh, well, you're going to wait until February, what, the week before?
And are you going to be sucking up to Ross Wheeler again?
I'm going to try pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, get some more free swings out of him. Maybe another set of bowling balls.
Those balls did me pretty well last year. I might stick with those.
Yeah, I think you probably should.
That'll be a 9 box.
Yep. Gary acknowledges to Paul Willett, our in-house scorekeeper, that it is a 9. Hitting the pin in the gutter before it actually took out the pin on the deck. Considered a dead ball.
Gary missed the head pin there. 4 horsemen right side. So Gary cannot buy a mark here in the second string. Of course, Michael and I have our annual grudge match at Pilgrim Lanes coming up in the fundraiser that they have to send the kids to Canada. The Angelotti family does a great job at putting that all together and hosting the event. We look forward to it every year. I would just like to bring the tape of last year's show and
I'm sure you would.
Do it again this year. Can I do that?
Only if I can let Mark Gregory fill in for me. Then we'll call it a match. You had a spectacular 141 string last year.
There's the head pin shot for Mark, and it will not be a strike.
And as I understand, there was a little money changing hands as a result of our match. And I apologize to those who put a few dollars on me. The money all went to charity, of course. It was all in fun. Nothing illegal done at Pilgrim Lanes, we should point out.
There's the spare for Mark. Second mark of the string, first in a while after 5 open frames.
So we'd been 10 or 12 marks in a boxes in a row without a mark.
He's on the head pin there. That's a good looking shot. Can he break up the split? No, he cannot, but he's got good wood there. He's got 8 in the spare, and the wood makes this shot doable. Watch out. Don't give up on it yet. Don't give up on it yet. That's not going to go. Didn't hit it where he wanted to. Hit it too high on the piece of wood. So another open frame for Mark Gregory. And it'll be a 9 box. The lead is now 49 for Mark Gregory. With 2 boxes remaining in the second string. Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV, presented by Tri-State Megabucks and the names of the New Hampshire Lottery Commission, and by McMulkin Chevrolet, Nashua Mitsubishi, Nashua Hyundai, and Nashua Cadillac, all part of the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua, New Hampshire. Gary Carrington gets his first mark of the second string, and it's a strike in the 9th frame.
One more time.
It was not a thing of beauty, but they all finally toppled.
Didn't want Patrick, our replay guy, to fall asleep there. He hasn't been too busy this string.
Come on. Work this out.
Gary's not at all pleased with what he has staring back at him there. He's got the 5 in the middle, the 6 on the right, the 7, 8, and 10 in the back row.
But Patrick will show us a great replay if indeed Carrington picks this up.
And there, oh, look at this, the 10 pin's still there. Gary thought he had it. You saw Gary's reaction. Gary thought he had the shot.
He was in danger, you know, of not hitting 100, but he'll hit it with this.
Just hit it. He's at
just enough.
101 second string for Gary Carrington. Mark Gregory's already at 93. .241 total for 2 strings for Gary Carrington. Missed the head pin. The 1-3-6. No wood. Nope, missed it to the outside.
He has an amazing 11 New Hampshire state titles over the years, 5 Massachusetts state titles, 6 WCBC Pro Tournament titles, including one achieved here at Leda Lanes a couple of months ago, his most recent one, his 6th.
102 for Mark through 9. To lane 33 to finish the string. Right on the head pin, and look at this.
1, the 8, and the 9 are taken out. He's got the spread eagle and the 5-pin. Is there a name for this one?
I can think of several things I'd call it if I were bowling, but I don't know if it's anything that is in the glossary of terms.
3-pin is still wiggling.
Picks one more.
Wow.
He's at 106.
Is this the same Mark Gregory that we saw last week?
107 for Mark Gregory in the second string. He had 6 pins to his lead. He leads by 35 over Gary Carrington. 1 string to go. We're coming right back for it when we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNBS TV. Mark Gregory first to bowl, 3rd string coming up. Leda Lanes in Nashua. 35 pins separate the two bowlers, with Gregory enjoying the lead over Gary Carrington. This game of Candlepin bowling is so confounding to those of us who follow it week after week after week. Mark Gregory a 169 first string, a 107 second string. Gary Carrington a 140 first string, a 101 second string. You think they find the range, and then all of a sudden the pins refuse to fall. That's what makes the game so challenging, and as you said earlier, Mike, very humbling.
Well, it's always humbling to me, just occasionally to you. In fact, you find it very empowering, I've noticed.
It's a feeling of euphoria that one gets. $10 to start out. Well, Gary Carrington won't go quietly if he goes at all. That's for
no
sure.
way. But he's probably kicking himself because he had a pretty good shot there with Mark Gregory. He only had 107 last game. And Mark Gregory's thinking, I can't believe Gary's not bowling so well.
Yeah, he's thinking I only lead by 35 going into the string.
Yeah. Has anybody ever led by 35 over Gary Carrington? Probably not since the late 90s.
This is a makeable shot. It's the 2-5-7 with wood. And there it goes. Well, he made it. I don't think he made it the way he thought he was going to make it, but it goes in the scorebook. As they say, a bloop is as good as a blast. And that goes in the book as a line drive spare for Mark Gregory.
I love when you pull out those baseball cliches.
There they go, Gary Carrington. The slow motion replay will look even slower when you watch it because it took such a long time for that 10 pin to go over.
Is that a Texas leaguer for?
Watch that 10 pin on the right. It's going to go, I promise. There it goes. So Gary starts off with a mark. Missed the head pin. But they're still going. They're still going. He's got a makeable shot here. Very makeable shot the way the wood is set up. The 1, the 3, the 9 and the 10. The wood in front of the 9 and the 10 makes this makeable. And there it goes.
All right, let the games begin. The match is finally underway. Carrington is back.
So Gary with a double mark to start off. Mark Gregory working on a spare. Right on the head pin. Breaks up the split. Spare opportunity.
That's just how you like to see the wood in front of the 6 and the 10.
I think you could make this shot probably 6 out of 10 times.
You're so kind today. What's with that? Thanksgiving spirit?
There's the spare for Mark Gregory. Well, Mark has to be thinking, as long as he continues to mark, no matter what Gary Carrington does, he'll have control of the match. Looking for bonus money here now. That's a good shot. Look at this.
That was a strike last week.
Just to the Brooklyn side of the head pin. You thought when it left his hand and as it was hitting the head pin, he'd get better than that.
And there's no wood to help him out either. It's the 5, 7, 8, 9. Difficult spare to make.
Got a shot at it. Ooh. He played it well. He cut the 5-pin nicely. He made the 5-7 last week. Try to take one of these, and it's a 9-box. The door is open for Gary Carrington to make this a horse race.
You know, it just occurred to me what the secret of Mark Gregory's success is. Last week, before the match started, he was running his bowling balls through the ball cleaner here at Leda Lanes. I said, come on, does that really do anything? He just gave me that look. I didn't say anything else. That's what the secret of your success is, folks. Clean your bowling balls before the match.
Gary looking for a strike. 9-pin drop in the spare.
But he's up against another Mark Gregory spare, so he needs to have this.
Is that pin frozen? He makes no difference. He picks up the spare. $50 in bonus money. He has $100 in the match. More importantly, he's narrowing the gap.
And he'll be up against an open box in the 4th frame from Mark Gregory.
So it was 35 pins to start the string. Gary has picked up perhaps 10. Good first ball. He missed the head pin. He threw it by the head pin, but
can it be set up any better, Dick?
7 pins in the mark.
That piece of wood just is begging to be slammed into the 4 and the 7 from the 1 pin.
And there it goes. 4 marks in a row to start off. Another $25 in bonus money. We have ourselves a horse race as we go to the break. As Gary Carrington climbs back into it, Mark Gregory still has the lead. As we come back for the conclusion of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Moves to lane 34 of Leda Lanes. He started the 3rd string with a 35-pin lead. That lead has been cut to 22 plus or minus whatever Gary Carrington gets on his spare fill. So it could be about 15 pins. And there's a half Worcester to the left side for Mark Gregory.
Boy, it gets interesting all of a sudden, huh? It took us 24 boxes to get to finally the crux of the match.
The 1, 7, 10. Piece of wood in front of the 7-pin.
High string for the day receives another $50, and so far that would go to Mark Gregory, who had a 169, but has slid down since.
Good 9-box there for Mark. But he could use a mark right about here. He had 9 marks in the 1st string on his way to a 169. Gary Carrington had 6 marks in the 1st string on his way to a 140. Carrington had 1 mark in the 2nd string. Gregory had 2.
Runner-up gets $375 today. Winner goes on to bowl Bill Treeful. We've not seen in a couple of years. Billy Treeful, 2nd seed in this current ladder, and 2 weeks from today, one of the winningest bowlers ever in Candlepin history in the pro ranks, Craig Holbrook.
Gregory missed the head pin with his first ball. On the head pin there, but not converting the spare. Now looking to pin as best he can.
A couple of marks now from Carrington, and suddenly this whole match is flipped.
And that will be a 9-box. All right, here's Gary Carrington. The door is open for him. As I mentioned, he had cut the lead down to 22 pins minus whatever he gets on this spare fill ball. And then he's up against 2 open frames in frames 5 and 6. The opportunity is here for Gary Carrington. That cuts the lead down to 12 minus whatever he puts in the strike.
5 boxes, 5 marks for Gary Carrington. The Gary Carrington we all remember. The Gary Carrington that wasn't here for the first two games today.
Well, he had 140 in the first string. That's not too shabby.
Not too shabby, but, you know, we always expect, you know, so much more.
On the strike, right through the middle. Ouch. 3 on the left, 4 on the right. 2, 4, 7 on the left. 3, 6, 9, 10. Gary played it well. Puts 8 in the strike.
Be very close to an even match, Dick.
That'll be a 10 box. 104. A 2-pin lead for Mark Gregory over Gary Carrington with 4 boxes remaining in the match. The lead is 2.
Wow. 2 giants in the game. Between the two of them, a total of 15 pro titles. 9 for Carrington and 6 for Mark Gregory.
Let's see how Mark Gregory responds. He's behind the headpin again. Missed the headpin, so he's lost his range a little bit. While he was locked in all of last week and through the first string of this match, he's lost the range. Trying to find that headpin desperately. That's a good ball. 5-pin still stands. Open for 4 consecutive boxes. Nine box. With a 2-pin margin, each pin becomes more critical. He desperately needs a mark.
Well, he needs to mark out to force Gary Carrington to bowl even better. He's only got 2 marks this game out of 7 boxes.
That's a good first ball. Can he break up the split? No. Would have been better off if that pin had not gone down. Tough shot here. The 6-10 on the right, the 7 on the left. The piece of wood rolls in front of the 7-pin, gives him a bigger target.
Yeah,
gives him a little bit of a bigger target to cut the 6-pin across the alley into that 7-pin. Big shot here. Not going to make it. Open again. Gary Carrington can take the lead with a mark. And he'll go the safe way and take a 9-pin and 89 through 8. So Gary Carrington will take the lead if he can mark in one of these 2 frames.
Couple 10s would tie it up with 2 boxes to go.
On lane 34, Gary Carrington. Three, 5, 6, and 10. No wood. Open frame. Fingernail biting time at Leda Lanes. 10 box. A 10 ties the match. Lane 33 for Gary Carrington. The crowd silence as Gary throws a good first ball. Strike for Gary Carrington. A strike and the lead for Gary Carrington. Now Mark Gregory, his final 2 frames. Needs to mark. Needs to double mark.
You can bet he's been here before, though. A very seasoned bowler.
Good first ball. Can he break up the split? They still fall.
All right, that's helpful wood.
Very helpful wood. The wood makes the shot. I think the wood is set up nicely for him. I think it's far deep enough to take the 5-pin.
I think it's borderline.
There it is. Very important spare for Mark Gregory, and he needs another one.
Would have pretty much been over had he not made that. Still needs a good fill and a mark. Because he's basically up to 10 pins down, depending on what Carrington puts in his 8th frame strike.
Very important ball right here. Right through the middle.
All right, you got a pretty 189. Come on.
Gary Carrington will win the match. So Mark had a great first string and then lost his magic. And he finishes with a 110 third string, a 3-string total of 386. And Gary Carrington already has
375.
375
with 2 boxes to go.
Gary working on the strike. Puts 6 with the first ball. 1 more to fill the strike. Threw it away. Almost got it on the rebound, but it's an 8 fill. And that will be a 10 box.
He needs a 7, Dick. A 6, rather.
Needs a 6.
Needs a 6.
5 to tie, 6 to win.
And now Mark is thinking about that spread eagle.
No, they're saying 4 behind. It's our score is correct, I believe. 142, 110.
Yes, Paul put an incorrect fill in the 8th frame strike.
I have an 8. No, 8 is correct. 8 is correct. We have an incorrect score. 8 was correct for the fill and the strike. Finishes with a 9 and a 151. And a 6-pin win over Mark Gregory, coming from behind to do it with a 151 third string. We'll come back to meet our bowlers as Gary Carrington's 392 beats Mark Gregory's 386 when we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua right after this on WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes.